I think you're good.
It does
That's
read, okay. Great morning,
Morning.
members of the committee. I am Dr. Longbanks Wyatt. And a little background about me, I am the late Honorable Carolyn Longbanks' daughter. And I'm here today to speak to you about a water bill that I have inherited along with the property. I'm also here to request a code modification and review, code section 154-26 subsection 1, which reads a meter reading error or computer entry or computational bill error determined to be such an error by the commissioner. I propose that the omission of a meter read be included in a billing error. The senior citizens suffer, particularly when they are their bills are estimated high instead of having an actual reading of their water meter. On April 22nd, 2023, I completed the repair of the water line at the property from the house to the street. 12 months prior, her bill was estimated at 11 cc's. My mom was bedridden and living at a care home, and there's no way she could have used that much water. However, when I realized that there was a water leak, I had the line changed. I would like to contend that for when it's actual water consumption following a repair should be used instead of using an estimated water consumption. Today, I'm here to request that there be a consideration and propose that the statement include that the omission of timely meters such as failure to read a water meter be explicitly recognized as a billing error under the code. So I'm here today to request that there be a reversal of the decision of the Water and Sewer Appeals Board due to its reliance on inaccurate data. I would like to have the order recalculated from 11 cc's down to maybe 3 or 4 cc's based on the fact that my mother was incapacitated. Also recognize that the omission of timely meter readings be constituted as a billing error and mandate that the Department of Watershed Management implement passionate billing policies to protect senior citizens from unfair business practices. And any other relief that that you all see proper.
Thank you, Doctor. So I'm hearing two issues here. One is this very specific billing matter, and the other is your proposal to modify the code. It would be helpful to us, if you haven't already done so, to put that in an email and with the citation and a sentence or two along the lines of what you've described here, so that we can review that.
And who should I address that email to?
I would send it to the members of this committee.
Okay. All righty. Thank you. I have also been in touch with a Jay Kemp in the mayor's office. Does that sound familiar? Okay.
That's in the office, president's office.
Oh, President's office?
President of the council's
Okay,
office.
good.
Excuse me. Jordan Kemp. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And I'll turn it over to the chair.
Also, if we can have someone from Watershed work with her on her issue before she leaves today, I think that would also help her out. So if someone from the Watershed Department can make sure that we're taking with her. And I know we're shaking that. And so if this is Dr. Wyatt?
Yes.
Dr. Wyatt, you got a few people to your right who are waiting on you, waiting to help you, so.
Okay. Great, and thank you so much for your time.
No problem. The next speaker is Mr. Philip Jones.
Good morning. My name is Philip Jones. I'm a civil engineer. I'm with Jones Engineering. And I'm here today to talk about an impact study on District 10, in which this is a Crest neighborhood, 1 to 10 in Hamilton, homes in which we, go ahead.
No, I turned your microphone on.
Okay, my name is Philip. Okay, we're gonna start over. Can you start over the time?
Please do. Thank you for checking us right there.
Okay, I appreciate that. Okay. Let me know when you're ready.
Ready?
Okay, my name is, seems like right off me, but my name. Okay, you ready? My name is Philip Jones. I'm with Jones Engineering, and I'm here in regards to District 10. And letting you know about the, under the Georgia Soil and Water Conservation, there's some 9-point pollutants. And solid waste is one of the ones that getting down into our environment, going into our state waters. And on Hamilton E. Holmes, we have and Martin Luther King, we have a big solid waste problem, which I have met with code enforcement. It seems like no one is interested in cleaning up our depressed neighborhood. And what I'm proposing is an impact study for our neighborhood in District 10, Martin Luther King, so we can bring back some business. But first, what we got to do, we got to clean up solid waste that's all over our neighborhood in our area. I know in your area, district, whatever, solid waste is not as important as we have it. There's, in my opinion, is no intergovernmental coordination. There's no inter-utility coordinator with MARTA, which seems to be a whole lot of trash and debris at our MARTA stations, and we need to get control over that. And on our environmental solid waste, we need an impact study. And then because what happens is that the solid waste get down into our storm drains, and it goes into our state waters, which is causing us pollutants. And, you know, we're already under the Georgia Soil and Water Conservation under fines within the city of Atlanta because we're not doing that. I don't know why you keep wanting to get fined millions of dollars a day for not doing your job. So let's do our job. Let's get an impact study like we should have. Let's evaluate how we can clean up our area in District 10 because we're not doing it. And we got our kids walking through waste and filth. And we need to get control over that. And we need to do it immediately because this utility board is the ones behind that. And we can't walk around with our shirt and ties on and not do it. Let's get serious. And I'm here to work with you because of your local issuing authority. That can be revoked if it has not already been revoked. And I'm one of the ones that can revoke it. So we need to get serious and we need to do it immediately, and I will be monitoring these meetings. Thank you.
Thank you. And Mr. Jones, you said MLK, Hamilton E. Holmes.
Yes.
And I've reached out to Councilmember Boone's office. I'm going to give you her office phone.
I talked to her last night when it was on that, and it still has not been cleaned up. We're talking about a new, clean, and beautiful person we're going to appoint. You know, we're not cleaning up that area. You know, we're down there in Mercedes-Benz area, and when you get to District 10, it's waste and filth. And I'm working with, because we want to put some multi-story buildings up just like everybody else. But we can't do it until we get this solid waste under control.
No, I appreciate you again. Thank you.
Okay, sir.
Thank you. Our next speaker is President Gina Pagnotta. Speaks for a lot of people.
Good morning, Council.
Good morning.
Okay, it seems like when I try to retire, y'all know that movie, and they just pull me back in. And I'm here because thank you for the advocate that tried to speak for our members and employees that bring this forth. Thank you, Councilman Lewis, for your attention on this matter. I'm hoping that we don't have a new Jack City again in Watershed. Councilman Shook, you know what I mean way back in the day. New Jack City with a Nino Brown. And that's what it seems like we got. I thank you for the city for immediately taking heed to that manager, leader, and put him on administrative leave, pending an investigation. However, we still got the tails wagging out there. Let me do a disclaimer real quickly, a BGI, before Greg Israeli. I hope I said your name right, Commissioner. This has happened before him. I appreciate him coming. I appreciate you hiring him. We have already pledged to meet this week to discuss. but issues. And you know, PACE, we always bring solutions or suggestions. However, I want to make it clear that we need to start looking at these leaders that we promote, leaders that we hire from outside, and may consider doing what E911 or the police or fire does by having personality tests. You can come up here with all of these bright ideas, expertise, all of these diplomas, whether real or unreal, however you do it. But leading and what this mayor's mission and vision is, where are you personality and leading the people? You cannot direct people, you can empower people. And we need to stop having these leaders that we have right now that's on administrative leave, pointing fingers, degrading women, talking to people any kind of way they want to talk to. These are grown folks, not children. Grown folks. And anytime we have leaders that feel that they can do that, thank God we don't have anything worse than us coming down here fussing and pleading. I also blame EAP, and I hope they're listening, because these employees, our members, have went to EAP, hundreds, thousands of meetings with them, and I'm being a little bit exaggerated because it needs to be exaggerated. And EAP back in the day, when they say we can't tell you what they're talking about, but they can say, hey, Houston, we got a problem in this department. You all need to look at what's going on before employees have to stop their work to come down here, before I have to stop my job to come down here, even though that's part of my job to do. We have got to stop this. When you hear something, you need to do something. Just like one of the mayors put out, see, hear, say something, tell us. But these people are whistleblowers, then they get retaliated against. Then they get terminated, hence procurement. I'm hoping, we are working with that, but I'm hoping that when we have our dialogue with the new commissioner and the DC, that we will come and find some solution. But right now, we have a problem. It is not just in that one little area. It bleeds over into other areas of watershed. You only had a handful that came to you to make that comments that they made. Thank you for that advocate for bringing those folks that was not afraid to come. But now you got me. You got the union involved now more so than ever. We've been doing by the due process. We were trying to take each case by each case. And I understand that the city has a little issue. Thank you for DHR, but they're behind in some cases. But this one, I appreciate the administration for taking that priority and putting this person on administrative leave with pay until an investigation is done. We're about fairness, PACE is. Everyone has a due process, but we have enough evidence ourselves to make sure this person gets the fullest disciplinary up to termination. We cannot have this loose cannon back in these fields with these people, period. And on top of that, we're going to get with the management. We want to do a survey. We've done this with a lot of departments to find out what they really think. What does their employees in Watershed really feel about the leadership that they have? Maybe we need to move them around. Maybe we need to move them out. I don't know, but one thing, I will be making a presentation on May 6th and coming up with some solutions and some suggestions on how you hire people. These people are getting $6, what is it, 6 figures, and come in and pointing a finger at somebody's face. Isn't that an assault? Isn't that an assault? That's enough to make, if you pointed your finger in my face, whether you man or woman, I'm going to jump you too. That's an assault, and it needs to stop. And these folks I have a member here. I'm not going to discuss her case, but I will with the leadership whistleblower. So all I'm asking is that you all help us, help this union. We're going to work with the commissioners to see that these employees are treated fairly and that they're not targeted and they're not mistreated. Thank you.
And Ms. Packnett, I called you last week at the moment that we had over 42 employees come down, and they meant what they were saying.
Yes.
I started an investigation myself.
Yes, you did.
And that means I called so many people. I even ended up on the phone with you.
Yes, you
so
did,
I
sir.
truly appreciate you and your standing with the employees in solidarity. Thank you for your work.
And thank you for your interest, sir. And Ms. Boone, Councilman Boone, thank you for your interest in certain cases that's involving Watershed. And one main thing in closing, I don't want another New Jack City. And Mr. Shook can explain
What's
to you
New
what
Jack
New
City?
Jack City. Y'all seen the movie?
What's New Jack
Ms.
City and
Boone,
Watershed?
you all know the New Jack City had a Nino Brown running things. I'm not saying they're selling drugs, but they're doing everything else under that leadership, and we need to stop it.
What's New Jack City?
The movie.
I'll take
I mean, what's New Jack City and Watershed? I know the movie.
I mentioned when we had, and I'm gonna say.
seen the movie a million
When we
times.
had a Commissioner Joanne Macrina, we all know what's the
Okay, we
device
good.
of her.
Okay, I got
Okay.
you. Okay, I
Do I
got you.
need to say more?
I don't know anything about it. I wasn't
Okay,
a part
that's
of
why
that, but
Mr.
thank you
Ship will
again.
explain it to you. New Jack City, no more.
Thank you again, Ms. Pagnata. And we've been joined by the Honorable Councilmember Andrea Boone. Before we begin our meeting, we need to call the meeting to order first, right? Start a meeting. So good morning, welcome to the April 29th meeting of the City Utilities Committee. I am Councilmember Antonio Lewis, Chair of the committee. I'm joined by council members from my left, Councilmember Alex Wan, Councilmember Matt Westmoreland, Councilmember Howard Shook. To my right, Councilmember Andrea Boone. Can we have a motion to adopt the agenda?
Second.
It's been moving properly second. Mr. Johnson, please open the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 5 yeas, 0 nays. The agenda has been adopted.
Can I have a motion to approve the minutes?
Second.
It's been moving properly second, moved by Councilmember Wan, second by Councilmember Shook. Please open the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 5 yeas, 0 nays. The minutes have been approved.
And we actually have a new watershed commissioner. And so super excited to introduce Commissioner Hourly. Is there anything you would like to say to can you come up to the podium and introduce yourself to the committee and to the viewers in the city of Atlanta who are actually watching this? We're very interested in our water here in the city of Atlanta, so I'm excited to meet you today, sir.
If you allow, Chair, I do have a few comments I'd like to share. Water's life-giving. Without water, there is no life. Good morning. My name is Greg Irely. I am a Watershed Commissioner for the Department of Watershed Management. My long-term vision is to bring water security to the greater Atlanta region and the 1.2 million people we provide drinking water to every day. I plan on setting us on that course with 5 key initiatives over the coming years. Number 1 is operational excellence. Be the best at what we do every day. That's not just meeting the minimum requirements of our jobs and our permits. Even if that means short-term repairs and fixing water leaks and restoring our roads and yards afterwards, we're going to be the best at that. We're going to achieve this by retaining and recruiting and filling our open positions, paying competitive wages, and training our existing staff and the next generation workforce to include partnering with our unions, and with this week being the beginning of that. The work that we do in Watershed is important. Without access to clean water, we cease to function as a modern society. Number 2 is in investing in our infrastructure and integrating the newest technology available as we rebuild. That does include artificial intelligence. That does not mean replacing people with machine learning. It means equipping and helping our staff with their workload, making more informed decisions, and allowing them to repurpose their work onto more important tasks. It means investing in sustained stormwater utility and partnering with the surrounding communities in our watershed to reduce the impacts of flooding as climate change continues to pressure our existing infrastructure and planning. What we're seeing around the country is our droughts are more severe, and when the rain comes, it comes harder. In Texas, we had a saying that sometimes there's too much water, but there's always not enough. We face some of those similar challenges here in the greater Atlanta region. Number 3 is developing alternative water supply for Atlanta. in making better use of the water we have by fully maximizing water reuse opportunities. Every gallon that we reuse is one less gallon we need. As a whole, in the U.S., we are spoiled and don't understand the value of water. We've always had access to clean drinking water. We turn on the tap and it's there. In other countries, they don't always have that luxury. We need to value water and understand it's valued. Bottled water, I drink it. Sometimes it is a necessity to have. But in general, depending on where you live in the country, bottled water is 300 to 600 times more expensive than the water out of your tap. We need to stabilize our rate structures. That's number 4. Atlanta, no doubt, was put in a very compromised situation with respect to water rates decades ago with the wastewater consent decree. We need to ensure we have the available ongoing investment stream to invest in our aging and failing infrastructure. It's not only here in Atlanta, it's throughout the country. It's the same issues that I was facing in Houston. Not all these the exact same issues, but very similar. Stabilizing rates doesn't always mean not raising rates. It means not having wild swings in rates. We need to run this race with our long-term future goal in mind. We win the race by running a steady pace. And then 5 is increased transparency, something that you just heard talk to, and building trust. That means holding ourselves accountable. That means me. We need to tell our stories and challenges that we face in our facilities and with our infrastructure. We need to inform the public. It's not until there's a failure or a lawsuit that we begin to think about water. How can we expect the public to better understand how complicated and costly water treatment is if we don't proactively tell our stories? We no longer have the option of being out of sight and out of mind. It is the City of Atlanta, elected officials and staff, it's our responsibility to lead the way for long-term water security for the greater Atlanta region. We need everybody involved, our community groups, our neighborhoods, environmental and conservation communities, downtown businesses, universities, sports and entertainment, manufacturers and production companies, faith-based community, the state of Georgia, and potentially federal assistance or appropriation. When it comes to water, it's everybody in the pool. We cannot face this extraordinary challenge for our future alone. We cannot travel without help of others. Water is life-giving, and together we can create a strong foundation for Atlanta to thrive. So those are some remarks I had.
And I got all of them except number 4.
Number 4 was stabilizing our rate structures.
Okay. So we are there any questions from my colleagues? So we have one from one question that was asked. Can you tell us a little bit about your background, your career?
Yeah, you bet. I started out as an entry-level wastewater operator and utility worker. My first job was in the morning to go down to the headworks.
What city did you start off in?
Oh, what city is in Vancouver, Washington,
So,
over 30 years ago.
okay.
And my first job was to go down and remove the aluminum grating from our headworks where the raw wastewater comes in. And I used to have to break up the grease and fill that up with rags and drag it up the stairs every day. I moved on from being an entry-level wastewater operator and was promoted through the ranks, doing different jobs, both in treatment plants and also out in the field as a utility worker. Eventually, I was moved into management while going to graduate school at night as a wastewater operator, and became eventually a plant manager and then a regional manager, and relocated to the Midwest, where I was the utility director there. Cedar Rapids, Iowa was devastated by a 700-year flood in 2008. The entire downtown area was under 13 feet of water. Almost 5,000 homes were flooded. I was able to recover the utility in 73 days. The wastewater treatment plant was completely devastated. The water plant, we lost 47 of our 48 raw collector wells. We never lost positive water pressure. After recovering the utility, the city was looking for a leader to lead the whole city back. And I was selected for that position and reported to the mayor and council for 3 years to rebuild the city of Cedar Rapids. And then I returned home to my hometown to be the utility director there, and then came to Houston, Texas to take on the challenges of Houston, the nation's largest city-run water and wastewater utility. It serves 5.7 million people. It's about 5 times the size of the utility here. They had a very large wastewater consent decree. They were off track. I was able to recover them and get them on track and bring national attention to their water treatment, to get them down the road of funding to invest $4.2 billion to build a third new water treatment plant that serves the central heart of the city. And in 2024, I received the Water Environment Federation Water Hero Award for our industry. In 2024, I received the Texas Water Manager of the Year Award and came to Atlanta a couple weeks later.
Thank you so much for that. I spent about a year in Houston working with Hope. Those are our union workers in Houston. Those are ASME employees. And so I got a chance to work with the management there, amazing staff there. Everything was seamless. So it was a lot of efficiency. I could tell that you do water. That's what I got from your background here. You do water. So anything from my colleagues? Thank you again for anything from the administration.
Yeah, and I will be reaching out with some of you already to schedule some one-on-one time and, hear about ways, your ideas and how I can support, and we can partner to make it happen for the city.
I got some stuff for us to do. Don't worry. I got some stuff for us to do.
I look forward to it.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
And anything from Mr. Theo Pace. Theo Pace, I almost say this full name.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, members of the committee. Theo Pace, Deputy Chief of Staff. Just want to say on behalf of the mayor and the COO, we are happy to have Commissioner Ireland here. I know that he reached out to a few to schedule some meetings to meet with him one-on-one. Just ask if the other members of council would check your emails, because I know we've been trying to get meetings scheduled with him. I know he has a couple today. So he's still in transition, moving from Houston to here, but eager to have him to get with members of the committee and the remainder of the council. So thank you.
Thank you. We've been joined by the Honorable Ishe Collins. Mr. Johnson, can you please move into communications?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Section F, Communications, item number 125C, 0053, a communication from Sigara Jones, President, Atlanta Planning Advisory Board, submitting the appointment of Ms. Barbara Leith to serve as a member of the Keep Atlanta Beautiful Commission. This appointment is for a term of 2 years.
Is Ms. Barber here?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Hey, Ms. Barber, how are you? Good morning. Good morning.
Members of the Utilities Committee. I am Barbara Leith, a member of APAP. I'm representing APAP at this point, but I live in NPUH, and I'm a native Atlantan, and I'm very proud to have the opportunity to serve my community and the city of Atlanta in this position.
Move approval.
It's been moving properly. Second, moved by Councilmember Boone, second by Councilmember Wan. Please open the vote, Mr. Johnson.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 6 yeas, 0 nays. The item is favorable.
Ms. Barber, congratulations. We're excited to have you, and your energy is going to change, going to do something to this board.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, before we start our first reads, can we take item number 11 that's on held? It's another communication for the Water Sewers Appeals Board.
Please do.
Item number 11, 25C 0045, a communication from council members Dustin Hillis, District 9, Andrea Boone, District 10, and Ishay Collins, Post 3 at large, appointing Ms. Arlesia McMichael to serve as a member of the Water and Soils Appeals Board. This appointment is for a term of 3 years.
Is Ms. McMichael here?
Right here.
Hey, Ms.
Good
McMichael.
morning.
How are you?
I'm great.
Can you tell us a little about yourself?
Yes, sir. My name is Arlesia McMichael, and I currently serve as the MPUH Public Safety Vice Chair and the Executive Director of Poverty to Prosperity, where we assist individuals and families in need. My time spent collaborating with local organizations, businesses, and community members have given me a comprehensive understanding of challenges our community face with sewer and water system. I am passionate about serving on the Water and Sewer Appeals Board because I believe that the importance of access to clean water and effective waste management. By bringing my expertise and my commitment to public service, I hope to contribute to the community's infrastructure and help develop solutions that benefit us all. I am eager to work collaborative with the board members to tackle issues that we face and promote transparency and accountability in our system. I want to thank you for your time and consideration, and I look forward to working with you all.
Move approval.
It's been moved and properly second. Please open the vote. Moved by Councilmember Boone, second by Councilmember Juan.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 6 yeas, 0 nays. The item is favorable. Mr. Chair, that takes us back to Section G.
And Ms. McMichael, congratulations. We're super excited to have you on the board. I mentioned to Mr. Johnson as he walked past, because I'm excited about that board. We're about to have a meeting in which you all are going to come to us and tell us what you've been working on. And so I'm excited. That'll be the first time since I've been chair that we'll get that meeting. So you'll be a part of that. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Are you a
I'm very
native Atlantan?
excited. Yes, I am.
You get to make our water good again.
Yes, I'm
We
really
grew up
excited.
drinking, he said tap water. We grew up drinking faucet water, right? And so, but right now we've switched to plastic bottle waters. I remember when there was like an issue with us drinking those. So thank you, and I look forward to you serving.
Thank you all. Y'all have a great day.
Please proceed.
Mr. Chair, that takes us back to Section G, ordinance for first reading. Item number 2, 1220, an ordinance by City Utilities Committee waiving Part 2, Chapter 2, Article 10, Division 4 of the Atlanta City Code to authorize the mayor or his designee to exercise the second renewal option for special procurement agreement listed herein, annual contract for on-call diving services with Salmons Dredging Corporation on behalf of the Department of Watershed Management for a term of 1 year, retroactively effective from March 14, 2025 through March 13, 2026, an amount not to exceed $2 million to authorize the mayor or his designee to ratify services rendered in connection with the agreement retroactively effective beginning March 14, 2025 through the exercise of the second renewal option. All contracted work will be charged to and paid from the fund, department, organization, and account numbers listed herein and for other purposes. Item number 3, 25-0-1221, an ordinance by City Utilities Committee authorizing the Chief Financial Officer to amend the fiscal year 2025 Water and Wastewater Commercial Paper Notes Fund budget in amount of $21,573,164.06, and the FY 2025 Water and Wastewater Renewal and Extension Fund budget in amount of $11,655,140.99 to transfer funds from watershed reserves and adds funds to the SG Small Diameter Rehab Sugar Creek Basin Outfall Project and for the purposes. Item number 4, 25-0-1222, an ordinance by City Utilities Committee authorizing the mayor or his designee to exercise the second renewal option to agreement listed herein, yard debris processing, hauling, and diversion program with Tag Grinding Services Incorporated on behalf of the Department of Public Works for a term of 1 year effective May 19th, 2025 through May 18th, 2026, an amount not to exceed $300,000 to add funding on behalf of the Department of Parks and Recreation, an amount not to exceed $500,000 to waive the requirements of the Procurement and Real Estate Code, Chapter 2, Article 10 of the City of Atlanta Code of Ordinances to the extent of any conflict with this ordinance All contracted work will be charged to and paid from the fund department organization and account number listed herein and for other purposes. Item number 5, 25-01223, an ordinance by City Utilities Committee authorizing the mayor as needed accept on behalf of the Atlanta Department of Public Works a donation in amount not to exceed $10,000.00 for Pratt Recycling Incorporated for the purpose of supporting the city's recycling education initiatives, to authorize the chief financial officer to amend the FY 2025 solid waste revenue fund budget to anticipate and appropriate the donation and for other purposes. Item number 6, 25-01245, an ordinance by City Utilities Committee authorizing chief financial officer to amend the FY 2025 water and wastewater renewal and extension fund budget in amount of $8 million and 0 cents to transfer funds from watershed reserves for appropriations and add funds to the Green Infrastructure Valley of Hawks project and for other purposes. This takes us to our regular agenda, section H, resolutions. Item number 7, 25-R3419, a resolution by City Utilities Committee authorizing the mayor as needed to execute agreement listed herein, water supply tunnel system connection to Chattahoochee Water Treatment Plant with Ruby Collins SE Consultorium Joint Venture LLC on behalf of the Department of Watershed Management to commence from the date a notice to proceed is issued for a period of 547 calendar days for substantial completion and 607 calendar days from the notice to proceed for the final completion after the issuance of the notice to proceed. An amount not to exceed $13,788,184.00. All contract award will be charged to and paid from the fund department organization and account numbers listed herein and for other purposes. Mr. Chair, the recommendation is to hold in order to receive the IPRO report.
So move. It's been, well, actually, it was moved by Councilmember Westmoreland, second by Councilmember Juan. Please open the vote. Moved by Councilmember Westmoreland, second by Councilmember Juan.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 6 yeas, 0 nays. The item is favorable. Item number 8, 25-R3420, a resolution by City Utilities Committee authorizing the mayor as designated to enter into a memorandum of understanding and contract item agreement with the State of Georgia Department of Transportation on behalf of the Department of Watershed Management for adjusting water and sewer infrastructure that conflicts with the Department of Transportation's road improvement project along State Route 8 and State Route 8, from State Route 3 to State Route 42 in Fulton County, an amount not to exceed $782,912.32. All contract award will be charged to and paid from the fund department organization account number listed herein and for other purposes.
It's been moved by Councilmember Shook, second by Councilmember Juan. Please open the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 6 yeas, 0 nays. The item is favorable. Mr. Chair, that concludes our legislative items for City Utilities meeting today.
Is there anything from my colleagues? So I have one general reminder, one general remark, a reminder to all colleagues, if there are any pending appointments to be made to the Water and Sewers Appeal Board, please ensure those vacancies are filled as soon as possible. Thank you. Meeting adjourned.